Hello, welcome back, family. And we back for our 1 year devoted Bible reading plan. Our goal is to read the entire Bible by the end of the year. And today is January 7th. January 7th. January 7th. Today we read in Genesis 18, verse 1 through Genesis 20, verse 18. And our recap on yesterday. Yesterday we read Genesis 15 through Genesis 17. Recap. So God made an agreement with Abraham. He went to him. He like, look, Abraham, I'm gonna defend you, give you great reward. Abraham, what is it can you give me, Lord? I ain't got no children. I'm old. When I die, my slave is gonna get everything I own. God said that will not be so. You're gonna have a child. God led Abram outside. Say, look at the sky. Look at all the stars in the sky. Too many to count, right? That's what's gonna come from you. Many nations, great kings, many nations gonna come from you. Abraham, like, okay, Lord, how I know this to be true? What proof you got to show me this gonna be true? God said, okay, bring me these animals. Bring me these animals, these bird and pigeon. Sacrifice these animals to me. Abraham did just that. God did a supernatural thing as proof to show Abraham that he was more than serious. Abraham like, okay, cool, I get it. Um, God then goes further to tell Abraham what he's going to do, and he tell him that the people that's inhabiting the land, all the giants, the welders, the villagers, all the people that's inhabiting the land that he's promised to give to Abraham and his descendants, God is going to drive them out of that land. That was the recap on Genesis chapter 15. We also read Genesis chapter 16. What happened here? Sarai, which is Abraham's wife, gets impatient. She like, look, I'm old. I ain't got no children. Lord ain't opened my womb up yet, but I do got an Egyptian slave girl. So Abraham, I'm gonna give my slave girl to you so we can go put some acceleration to this childbirth. So she then again, she want her slave girl to be her surrogate. So she tell Abram, look, go sleep with my Egyptian slave Hagar, so she can have a child. She'll have a son, then I'll accept the baby as my own. Yeah, I guess this the only way we gonna be able to get this child. Abraham, with no pushback, no argument, said, cool, I'm sleep with Hagar. Abraham have sexual relations with Hagar. Hagar gets pregnant, and Hagar starts to look down on her owner, which is Sarai, the wife of Abraham. So she looking down on her, basically like she can't even have a baby. Like that's what it's giving. Um, Sarah is starting to feel away, or yeah, yes, Sarai. She's not Sarah yet. Sarai starts to feel away. She tell Abraham, "I blame this. I blame you for this. Hagar looking down on me. I can't have no children. You done got her pregnant. You are the one to blame." Abraham like, look, Sarai. Hagar is your slave. You literally can do anything you want to do with her. Sarai said, cool. Sarai started being low down, started being cruel to Hagar while she's pregnant. Hagar gets fed up. She run away. In the middle of her running away, in the middle of her escape, an angel of the Lord stopped Hagar. Where you going? Hagar like, I don't have time for this. Sarai being low down, I'm finna go. Angel of the Lord said, Sarai's your owner. Go back, obey her, and you pregnant with this man child. Go back home. We gonna make it right. Everything gonna be cool. Uh Hagar goes back home. Abraham is now 86 years old. Hagar ended up having this baby. Abraham named him Ishmael. That's the recap on Genesis 6. Genesis 7, Abraham is now 99 years old. So his son Ishmael is now 13 years old. God comes to Abraham again and makes the agreement very much so clear again and say, look, I'm making an agreement with you. This my end of the agreement. This your end of the agreement. You're gonna have many people. I'm gonna give you the promised land. You're gonna have a son by Sarah. Boom. Your end of the agreement is to be circumcised. You need to be snipped. Your 13-year-old child Ishmael need to be snipped. All the slaves in your house snipped. Anybody born in your nation snipped. Any slave you end up hiring snipped. If they not snipped, cut off. They cut off from the agreement because they ain't obey. They ain't aligning with the agreement that we made. So God also tell Abraham, like, look, this time next year, Sarah gonna end up having a child. Abraham ain't really believe it. He like, we too old to be having kids, but got you. And moving forward, Abraham calls everybody in his house, like, look, Lord came to me, everybody got to get snipped. Everybody got circumcised that day. Abraham got circumcised, and he circumcised his son and every slave that lived in his house. It was Abraham who did the procedure. And that's our recap on yesterday. Now, today we are reading Genesis 18, verse 1 through Genesis chapter 20, verse 18. And let's read. So later the Lord again appeared to Abraham near the oak trees of Mamre. It was the hottest part of the day, and Abraham was sitting at the door of his tent. He looked up and saw three men standing in front of him. When he saw the men, he ran to them and bowed before them. Abraham said, sirs, please stay a while with me, your servant. I'll bring some water to wash your feet. You can rest under the trees. I'll get some food for you, and you can eat as much as you want. Then you can continue your journey. The three men said, do as you wish. Verse 6, Abraham hurried to the tent. He said to Sarah, quickly, prepare enough flour for 3 loaves of bread. Then Abraham ran to his cattle. He took his best young calf and gave it to the servant there. He told the servant, quickly, kill the calf and prepare it for food. Abraham brought the meat and some milk and cheese and set them down in front of the three men. Then he stood near the men, ready to serve them. While they sat under the tree and ate, the men said to Abraham, where is your wife Sarah? Abraham said, she is there in a tent. Pause real quick. So what I love about Abraham here is how he's serving these men. Chapters ago, days ago, we learned that Abraham is very rich. He got a whole lot of silver, gold, animals, servants. He's rich. So for him to not be so puffed up and still have the heart of a servant, I love it. It's like, I ain't too big to wash y'all feet. I ain't too big to serve y'all. Let me wash y'all feet. Let me sit here, serve y'all this food, and then y'all can go on about y'all way and continue y'all journey. I love that about Abraham so far. Verse 9, it says, the men said to Abraham, where's your wife Sarah? Abraham said, she is there in the tent. Then one of them said, I'll come again in the spring. At that time, your wife Sarah have a son. Sarah was listening. She ear hustling in a tent and heard these things. Abraham and Sarah were very old. Sarah was past the right age for women to have children. So she laughed to herself and said, I'm old and my husband is old. I'm too old to have a baby. Then the Lord said to Abraham, Sarah laughed and said she was too old to have a baby, but is anything too hard for the Lord? I'll come again in the spring, just as I said I would, and your wife Sarah will have a son. Sarah said, I ain't laugh. She said this because she was afraid. Then the Lord said, no, I know that's not true. You did laugh. Then the men got up to leave. They looked toward Sodom and began walking in that direction. Abraham walked with them to send them on their way. The Lord said to himself, should I tell Abraham what I'm going to do now? Abraham will become a great and powerful nation, and all the nations on earth to be blessed because of him. Verse 19, I've made a special agreement with him. I did this so that he would command his children and his descendants to live the way the Lord wants them to. I did this so that they'll live right and be fair. Then I, the Lord, can give him what I promised. Then the Lord said, I've heard many times that the people of Sodom and Gomorrah are very evil. I'll go and see if they are as bad as I've heard. Then I know for sure. Verse 22. So the men turned and started walking towards Sodom while Abraham stood there before the Lord. Then Abraham approached him and asked, will you destroy the good people while you destroying those who are evil? What if there are 50 good people in the city? Will you still destroy it? Surely you will save the city for 50 good people living there. Surely you would not destroy the city. You would not destroy 50 good people to kill those who are evil. If that happened, those who are good will be the same as those who are evil, both to be punished. As the judge of the whole world, surely you would do the right thing. Verse 26. Then the Lord said, if I find 50 good people in the city of Sodom, I'll save the whole city. Then Abraham said, compared to you, Lord, I'm only dust and ashes. Meaning I'm not even qualified to be sitting in front of asking these questions, but I'm about to do it anyway. He said, but let me bother you again and ask you this question. What if there are 5 less than 50? Will you destroy the whole city because of just 5 people? The Lord said, if I find 45 good people there, I will not destroy the city. Verse 29, Abraham spoke again. He said, and if you find only 40 good people there, will you destroy the city? The Lord said, if I find 40 good people, I would not destroy the city. Then Abraham said, Lord, please don't be angry with me. But let me ask you this. If only 30 good people are in the city, will you destroy it? The Lord said, if I find 30 good people there, I will not destroy the city. Then Abraham said, Lord, may I bother you again and ask, if there are 20 good people, the Lord answered, if I find 20 good people, I will not destroy the city. Then Abraham said, Lord, please don't be angry with me. Like, this is my last question. But let me bother you this last one time. If you find 10 good people there, what will you do? The Lord said, if I find 10 good people in the city, I would not destroy it. The Lord finished speaking to Abraham and left. Then Abraham went back home. So the reason why Abraham is asking all these questions is because his nephew Lot stay in the city that God is getting ready to do away with. So, when Lot and Abraham end up splitting a couple days ago, a few chapters ago, Lot ended up moving into the city of Sodom, which is one of the cities God is getting ready to destroy, Sodom and Gomorrah. Uh, Lot, everything with him is gone. So God, like Abraham, like, wait, my nephew stay there. Like, Lord, you finna do it to him. Like, if Lot is found being good, will you destroy him too? Basically, it's what he should have just cut to the chase. But yeah, that's why Abraham asking all these questions. Where we at? Genesis chapter 19. Um, that evening, the 2 angels came to the city of Sodom. Lot was sitting near the city gates and saw them. He got up and went to them. He bowed to show his respect and said, sirs, please come to my house and I'll serve you. There you can wash your feet and stay the night. Then tomorrow you can continue your journey. He basically did the same thing his uncle did. The angels answered, no, we'll stay the night in the city square. Where is the city square? The city square is like a plaza, or a shopping center in the heart of the city. Um, that's what a city square is. Oh, excuse me. Verse 3, but Lot continued to ask them to come to his house. So they agreed and went with him. Lot gave them something to drink. He baked some bread for them and they ate it. That evening, just before bedtime, men from every part of town came to Lot's house. They stood around the house and called to Lot. They said, where are the 2 men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us. We want to have sex with them. That's what it said, y'all. So these were homosexual men. They're seeing these two men, which are angels, go into Lot's house. So they say it says men from every part of the town. So you got men from the east, from the west, from Orange Mound. You got men from every part of the town surrounding Lot house. Like, a Lot, we seen them two men. This right before bedtime, so it's nighttime. We a little kinky. We ready to get this party started. Bring them two men out. We want to toss them around. That's what it's giving. Verse 6, Lot went outside and closed the door behind him. He said to the men, "No, my friends, I beg you, please don't do this evil thing. Look, I have two daughters who have never slept with a man before. I'll give my daughters to you. You can do anything you want with them, but please don't do anything to these men. They have come to my house and I must protect them." Verse 9, the men surrounding the house answered, "Get out of our way." They said to themselves, "This man Lot came to our city as a visitor. Now he want to tell us how we should live." Then the men said to Lot, "We'll do worse things to you than to them." So the men started moving closer and closer to Lot. These men are possessed by demons. They were about to break down the door, but the two men, which is the angels that were staying with Lot, opened the door, pulled him back in the house, and closed the door. Then they did something to the men outside the door. They caused all these evil men, young and old, to become blind. So the men trying to get in the house could not find the door. Interesting. Verse 12, the two men said to Lot, "Are there any other people from your family living in this city? Do you have any sons-in-law, sons, daughters, or any other people from your family here? If so, you should tell them to leave now." Tell them to leave now. Verse 13, we are going to destroy this city. The Lord heard how evil this city is, so he sent us to destroy it. Verse 14, so Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law, the men who had married his other daughters. He said, "Hurry and leave the city. The Lord will soon destroy it." But they thought he was joking. Anytime you mention the Lord, folks think it's a game. They think it's a game until they on the other side of earth and they find out stuff gets real. Verse 15, the next morning at dawn, the angels were trying to make Lot hurry. Get going. They said, "This city will be punished. So take your wife and your two daughters who are still with you and leave this place. Then you will not be destroyed with the city." Verse 16. When Lot did not move fast enough, the two men grabbed his hand. They also took the hands of his wife and his two daughters. The two men led Lot and his family safely out of the city. The Lord was kind to Lot and his family. So after the two men brought Lot and his family out of the city, one of the men said, "Now run to save your life. Don't look back at the city and don't stop anywhere in the valley. Run until you are in the mountains. If you stop, you will be destroyed with the city." But Lot said, "Come on, Lot. This is urgent." What are we talking about? Verse 18. But Lot said to the two men, "Sirs, please don't force me to run so far. You have been very kind to me, your servant. You have been very kind to save me, but I cannot run all the way to the mountains. What if I'm too slow and something happens? I'll be killed." Verse 20. Look, there is a very small town near here. Let me run to that town. I can run there and be safe. The angel said to Lot, "Very well. Have at it at this point. I'll let you do that. I will not destroy that town, but run there quickly. I cannot destroy Sodom until you are safely in that town." That town is named Zor because it is a small town. Verse 25, Lot was entering the town as the sun came up, and the Lord began to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. He caused fire and burning sulfur to fall from the sky. He destroyed the whole valley, all the cities, the people living in the cities, and all the plants in the valley. Look, God said, I wasn't going to flood the whole earth. I ain't never say I wasn't going to bring down fire and burning sulfur. These folks are evil. They got to get up out of here. Verse 26, Lot's wife was following behind him and looked back at the city. When she did, she became a block of salt. Being nosy gonna cost you. Go on about your business now. You better hear about it on the news or something. But he said don't look back. So stop being disobedient. I don't know. Lot wife. Verse 27. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and went to the place where he stood before the Lord. Abraham looked down into the valley toward the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. He saw clouds of smoke rising from the land like smoke from a furnace. God destroyed the cities in the valley, but he remembered what Abraham had said. So God sent Lot away from those cities before destroying them. Thank you, Abraham. Lot, you need to be thanking your uncle. Verse 30. Lot was afraid to stay in Zoar, so he and his two daughters went to live in the mountains in a cave. Weren't that where you supposed to go to begin with? Didn't the angel said it? Mind you, it was the all-knowing God that told those angels to tell you to go to the mountains. You wanted to bargain with them and say that you might run slow, something might happen, da 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 da, let me go here. Have at it. They let you go, but you still end up going to the mountains because now you're scared. Anyways, him and his two daughters went to live in the mountains in a cave. Verse 31. One day, the older daughter said to the younger, everywhere on the earth, men and women marry and have a family, but our father is old and there are no men around here to give us children. So let's get our father drunk with wine. Then we can have sex with him. That way, we'll use our father to keep our family alive. Okay. Verse 33. That night, the two girls went to their father and got him drunk with wine. Then the older daughter went and had sexual relations with him. He did not even know when she came to bed or when she got up. Verse 34. The next day, the older daughter said to the younger daughter, last night I went to bed with my father. I went to bed with daddy. Let's get them drunk with wine again tonight. Then you can go and have sex with them. In this way, we can use our father to have children and our family will not come to an end. So that night, the two girls got their father drunk with wine. Then the younger daughter went and had sexual relations with him again. Lot did not know when she came to bed or when she got up. Verse 36. Both of Lot's daughters became pregnant. Their father was the father of their babies. The older daughter gave birth to a son. She named him Moab. Moab is the ancestor of all the Moabites living today. The younger daughter also gave birth to a son. She named him Benami. Benami is the ancestor of all the Ammonites living today. In my opinion, the daughters should have went with their mama. They probably should have traded places with their mama and became a pillar of salt. They should have been burnt with fire and burned in sulfur. Because for you to say, oh, where we stand, it ain't no men around here to get. So you come pray to the Lord, tell him send you a man before your daddy die. Like you that wasn't an option. You just had to get your daddy drunk and sleep with your dad. And then there's nobody out of you two girls. Not one of y'all got enough sense to talk the other one off the ledge. Y'all both like, yeah, let's get daddy drunk. God should have did away with them too. They should have. He should have did away with them. They just as nasty and evil as the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. They were influenced. My opinion. Our last chapter for today, Genesis chapter 20. Abraham left that place and traveled to the Negev. He settled in the city of Gerar between Kadesh and Shur. While in Gerar, Abraham told people that Sarah was his sister. So we doing this again. King Abimelech of Gerar heard this. Abimelech wanted Sarah, so he sent some servants to take her. But one night God spoke to Abimelech in a dream and said, you would die. The woman you took is married. Verse 4, but Abimelech had not yet slept with Sarah. So he said, Lord, I'm not guilty. Would you kill an innocent man? Abraham himself told me this woman is my sister. And she also said, this man is my brother. I'm innocent. I did not know what I was doing. Then God said to Abimelech in a dream, yes, I know that you are innocent and that you did not know what you were doing. I saved you. I did not allow you to sin against me. I was the one who did not allow you to sleep with her. So give Abraham his wife again. He is a prophet. He'll pray for you and you will live. But if you don't give Sarah back to him, I promise that you will die. And all your family will die with you. God, like, I'm going to do it to you. Reverse the curse, or it's going to happen to you and your family. Verse 8. So very early the next morning, Abimelech called out his servants and told them about the dream. The servants were very afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, "Why have you done this to me? What wrong did I do to you? Why did you lie and say that she was your sister? You brought great trouble to my kingdom. You should have not done this to me. What were you afraid of? Why did you do this to me?" Then Abraham said, "I thought no one in this place respected God. I thought someone had killed me to get Sarah." Verse 12, she is my wife, but she is also my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother. God led me away from my father's house. He led me to wander to many different places. When that happened, I told Sarah, "Do something for me. Wherever we go, tell people you my sister." So Abimelech gave Sarah back to Abraham. Abimelech also gave Abraham some sheep, cattle, and slaves. And Abimelech said, "Look all around you. This is my land. You may live in any place you want." Verse 16, Abimelech said to Sarah, "I gave your brother Abraham 1,000 pieces of silver. I did this to show that I'm very sorry. I want everyone to see that I did the right thing. The Lord made all the women in Abimelech's family not able to have children. God did this because Abimelech had taken Sarah, Abraham's wife. But Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, his wife, and his servant girls." Look, stop lying. Stop lying, because y'all getting other people in the line of fire because all this lying that y'all doing. Like, Abraham, you did the same thing in Egypt with the Pharaoh and caused them all their trouble by telling these lies. Just because you respect and honor the Lord and you're not sure if other people do that, that is not your cue to go and compromise, because you go and get other folk in trouble. Somebody, I don't know, I ain't know if nobody here respected the Lord or not. So I'm just gonna go and tell y'all this lie so y'all won't kill me. What part of "I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you" don't you understand? What part of "I'm going to protect you from harm and danger and give you a great reward" don't you understand? At this point, I feel like you, like, Abraham, don't tick me off today. Don't do that. Don't do that, because you is causing trouble where there don't have to be any trouble. Like this man said, what you scared of? You done caused all this. These women in my family are barren, wound closed, clean up. Look, some of y'all can't have no babies because of a lie that was told and then nobody know about it. Depending on the prayer for them to reverse the curse, because they stand here just lying, trying to save face. But yeah, that's the end of our study on today. We doing great. I'm loving this. It's been a whole week from the 1st to the 7th in this year. It's been a whole week now. We done been devoted. We're doing great. I'm loving this momentum. I'm loving this devotion. And this is the right level of drama. It's very entertaining. I'm loving this. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Love y'all. Bye.